Hello my beautiful beading friends. Welcome to Misty Moon Designs. My name's Louisa. Well, it's that time again. It's time to open up one of my favorite bead boxes, Didi's Deluxe Bead Box for the month of August. And you know how I feel about that box. I absolutely love it. And I know you're going to love it as well. Now, if you're not familiar with it, I'll leave some information down below, along with a link to the website and a coupon code in case you're interested. And as a bonus, we're going to make a quick and easy project with the contents of the box. Now, if you want to skip the unboxing and jump straight into the project, you can always click on the timestamps down below in the description section of this video. Whether you're a beginner or an advanced jewelry maker, hopefully you'll enjoy making this very sparkly and pretty bangle bracelet. I'll teach you how to wire up those crystals right onto the surface of the bangle. And I can't wait to show you the collection and how to make this project. So let's get started. And here we have Didi's Deluxe Bead Box for the month of August 2025. A little bit about this box. It's based out of Canada and it's a limited edition. It's not a subscription, so it's available on a first come first served basis only. It goes on sale on the 12th of each month, and because it's a limited edition, it sells out pretty quickly. So if you're interested in this box and you don't want to miss out, I strongly encourage you to join their Facebook group page to stay current with everything. Plus it's a lot of fun because you get to see other people's designs. But anyway, I'll leave a link to that Facebook page down below in the description section of this video, along with a link to the website. And as far as the pricing goes, it sells for $39.99 plus shipping, but that's in Canadian dollars. In US dollars, it's $29.59. I know the Canadian price is fixed, but the US price changes depending on the currency exchange rate. It may vary by a few cents every month. And by the way, by the time you see this video, this box will be sold out since it's a limited edition. So let's go ahead and open it up. And it looks like the name of this box is Mochaccino. That's an interesting name. And here's the list of contents. As you can see, everything's listed. The length of the strands, the size of the beads, and a description of each one. And on the bottom are the different social media addresses, the Facebook page, Didi's Beads online store, and a link to Didi's Deluxe Bead Box. Oh wow, what a beautiful palette. I feel like I'm always saying that with Didi's Deluxe Bead Boxes, and that's because the colors are always so gorgeous. Let me pull them out. Look at this. What a gorgeous collection. I absolutely love these colors. I really do. They're very neutral and very peaceful and calm. Let me get organized and we'll take a look at each item. And here we have the first 5 strands. There are 9 strands in this month's box. And now I can see why they named the box Mochaccino. We have a lot of coffee hues, as you can see. I can definitely see a Mochaccino coffee looking at these colors. Absolutely stunning, as always. I'm never disappointed with Didi's Deluxe Bead Boxes. Let's take a look at this one here. This is the Inspired by Czech designer strand, and of course the name of it is Mochaccino. And how unique are these gorgeous beads? We have this teardrop shaped bead at the end, and then a flower bead. It looks a little translucent. And then we have these tiny spacer beads here, or tiny rondelles. And then we have a couple of bead caps, and this bead right here, a faceted rondelle. And then we have a butterfly bead with a Picasso effect, it looks like. And we have this one with another Picasso effect. It's another flower bead. And then we have another rondelle, another bead cap, another tiny rondelle, and a gorgeous heart bead in the center, which looks carved. It's so pretty. Look at that. And then on the left is a repeat of what's on the right. Very, very nice. And because you have 2 of each, except for the center bead, of course you have lots of options for earrings. Very beautiful. Let's take a look at this strand. This is black moonstone, natural black moonstone. And these beads measure 6 millimeters in size, and it's a 15-inch strand, which is pretty long. Look at these gorgeous beads. Some are translucent, some are more opaque, and you can definitely see shimmer on some of them, like this one right here. These are really pretty. I like the variation, and I like the earth tones too. And of course, I love the size. 6 millimeters, one of my favorite sizes to work with. Very nice. And let's take a look at these pearls. These are freshwater Baroque pearls. They measure anywhere between 7 and 8 millimeters, and this is a 7.5-inch strand. Very organic and natural looking because of the shape and the variation as well. Sometimes I like using something different like this. I don't always like to use round pearls. Beautiful. You're going to hear me say beautiful a lot. I'm not very good at using other fancy words, especially when I'm doing unboxings like this, and they're unscripted. And we have some pearl shell beads here. They're actually called natural stripe mother of pearl shell beads, and these measure 6 millimeters in size, and it's a 7.5-inch strand. How pretty are these? I love the stripes. And look at this one. That's interesting. It has like a little spot there of shimmery pearl, and so does this one actually. I love these. They're so cute. Pretty, cute, beautiful. How else can I describe these beads? I love them. And let's take a look at these. I've never worked with these before. These are listed as natural brown mother of pearl shell rice beads, and they measure 9 by 6 millimeters, and this is a 7-inch strand. Look at the shimmer as I turn the bead. Absolutely gorgeous. They almost look like cat eye beads or cat's eye beads, don't they? Really, really nice. And by the way, this strand measures 7 inches in length. Let me get the next set of strands. And here they are. I'm really loving these colors. It's nice to have something neutral for a change. But the nice thing about this collection is that you could probably make pieces for both summer and fall. Summer because you have the mother of pearl shell beads, and fall because of the colors. Let's take a look at this one here. These are very pretty as well. Of course, it's mother of pearl shell, but these are coin beads and they're listed as irregular, which I like. I like variation, and they measure anywhere between 7 and 8 millimeters. These are gorgeous as well. Very, very nice. And you can see that they're pretty flat on the top and bottom, but anyway, this strand measures 7 inches as well. I love the shimmer. Look at that. Really nice. Let's take a look at these. These are listed as Heishi beads. Actually, they're listed as Jade Heishi Rondelles. And of course, the color is brown and they measure 4 by 2 millimeters. And since it's jade, you're going to see some variation. So some of them are darker than others, and some are more translucent than others. I really like that. It makes a piece really interesting when you have variation like that. And this strand measures 12 inches in length. So you get quite a few beads. And here we have some sparkly crystals. It's always nice to have some sparkle in your pieces. I like to combine sparkly crystals with other finishes. And of course it has a lot of colors, so these are going to coordinate with all the beads I just showed you. It's listed as a faceted Mochaccino crystal Rondelle mix, and they measure 8 by 6 millimeters, and this is a 15-inch strand. Very, very pretty. You can see all the colors: cream, dark coffee, light coffee, and some bronze as well. Very nice. Let's take a look at these. They're listing these as multicolored Heishi crystal discs, and then on the insert they've added for a pop of elegance, which I find interesting because actually the whole collection is pretty elegant, not just these beads. But anyway, I love crystal disc beads, I really do. And these have an amazing sparkle. Look at that. These measure 6 by 4 millimeters, and this strand is pretty long. It's a 15-inch strand. And by the way, so is this one here. I don't think I mentioned it. But anyway, 15 inches is pretty long. So you're going to be able to make all kinds of jewelry. Let me get the rest of the items. And here we have a connector, some charms, a Z bead, and a beautiful bangle that I must confess I've never worked with before. But look how gorgeous these are. I love that they included a connector link. Let's take a look at it. It's 14 karat gold plated and it's listed as a shell wing connector. I'm not sure of the length, but it looks maybe 25 millimeters in length, including the loops. Let me show you the back. It's nicely finished in the back, as you can see. And once again, it has that gorgeous mother of pearl shimmer, which I absolutely love. You can see all the different colors too as I move the tray. Very pretty. I'm seeing a pair of earrings with these. These have the same kind of shimmer, but they also have a little crystal in the middle, and these are also 14 karat gold plated. There's the back, very smooth and shiny in the back, and because they're 14 karat gold plated, it's not going to tarnish on you. at least not for a while. Gold plating does wear out with time if you wear it a lot. But you know, just like anything else, you have to make sure you keep your jewelry nice and clean and stored in a dry place. I've had pretty good luck with 14 karat gold plated jewelry. And these look like they may be 14 millimeters wide, something like that. Let's take a look at this one. This one is so pretty and very unique too. It's a natural brown Tibetan sea agate bead, and it's barrel shaped as you can see, and it measures 30 millimeters across. There's the hole. I've worked with these before, but never this shape, or this size actually. They're known for their decorative patterns, such as the stripe at the top, and this oval shape in the middle. Sometimes they have zigzags and waves, but they're definitely very interesting, as you can see. I love this bead. And it looks like it might be slightly translucent. Let me shine a light behind it. Yep, look at that. It's definitely translucent. And you can see some veining patterns as well. Very cool. Let's take a look at this bangle. As you can see, it has a flat surface on the top there. You can either glue some beads on this surface, or you can wire up them on, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. Of course, we'll be using beads in graduating sizes, starting with the small ones at the narrow section of the surface, ranging in size, and then putting the larger ones in the middle, and then back down the other side. And it looks like maybe 2.5 inches wide, or 60 millimeters, which is pretty standard. I like it. So now let me arrange everything on my table so you can see the entire collection. And here's the whole thing. This is definitely a very earthy and elegant bead assortment, I must say. I love all the different textures and tones. And if you love neutrals, of course, you're going to love this collection. We have tons of beautiful, luminous mother of pearl shell beads in those creamy, natural, warm colors. And I love the black moonstone strand. It's definitely going to add a very subtle grounding energy to any jewelry piece. And of course, the sparkly crystals are awesome. I love the faceted brilliance in this one. Everything about this collection is beautiful, and I love the Z bead. I love the craftsmanship and the design. But anyway, to summarize, this box was very thoughtfully curated, just like all the other Didi's Deluxe bead boxes. And because of that, I always find it so easy to design with these beads. So anyway, guys, I hope you like this unboxing. And now that we've taken a look at everything, let's go ahead and make a quick project with some of these beads. And don't forget that I'll also make another tutorial in the coming days, so please check for that. But anyway, let me get the materials for today's quick project. Here are the beads we're going to need for today's project. And here's the bangle. I'm going to be wire wrapping the beads onto the bangle. And I chose these because I just love the sparkle. I really do. Plus they're faceted and they're going to sit really nicely on the surface of the bangle. So these are the crystal discs, and these are the Jade Heishi Rondelles. Now these two did not come in this month's box. They came in a previous box. They came in the March edition, March of this year. So if you still have that box, then you're in luck. Let me just show you real quick. The name of the box is Enchanted Pansy. And those are the beads that are left over. It was a mixture of sapphire and periwinkle colored beads, as well as this antique gold color. But if you don't have the box, you can use any 4mm size bead. You could even use a 3mm if you want to graduate down in size. And these are faceted as well. I'm going to be using 26 gauge wire today in a gold color, as you can see. Let me just move my beads out of the way for the time being. I'm going to cut myself a 30-inch piece of wire. I know that seems like a lot, but trust me, it's going to be just enough. Now, of course, if you're watching this video and you have a different kind of bangle and different beads, you may need a different length. And because this piece is so long, I may be getting out of frame a couple of times. So I apologize for that. So here's 12, 24, and another 6. I'm going to straighten my wire a little bit. I'm just using my fingers. And I'm going to create a little bead stopper using my round nose pliers. I'm simply going to make a little coil here. Just like that. And now I'm going to slide my beads on. I'm going to start with this one. And now 2 of these Heishi discs, or Heishi Rondelles. And then all of these crystal discs. And now another 2 of these Rondelles. Whoops. And this bead. So now I have about 2 inches worth of beads. And you're probably wondering how I came up with this. I always test out my designs. So initially when I first did this, I started with more beads. And then once I did the wire wrapping, I could see whether or not I had the correct amount of beads. And initially I didn't, so I had to remove some, but that's how you do it, guys. There's no mystery. But for today's technique, taking into account this bangle and the beads I'm using, I've got 2 inches worth of beads and 2 1/4 inches of surface to work with. In other words, I have 1/4 inch of extra space for the wire wrapping. Now I'm not going to remove this coil just yet. I'm going to leave it on there so I don't lose my beads. And I'm going to start by laying my wire on top of the bangle like this, on the part that's round. This is the round part, it's not the flat part. And I'm simply going to create some wraps. I am going to try to keep my wraps close to each other. And I'm going to do about, I don't know, 6 or 7. It really doesn't matter at this point because I'm going to wrap right over these later on. So that should be good enough. I'm going to snip off this extra piece here, the tail. Let me smush it down. And now I need to create a little right angle right there. So I'm going to come in here with these pliers and bend my wire like this. Let me slide my coils up and straighten this wire a little bit. And now I'm going to slide my beads down. Position them on top, like so. And now I need to anchor this end. So I'm going to create another right angle here. Place my wire on top. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap. It is a little tricky because, like I said, the wire's a little bit long. And now I'm going to go back up right on top of these wraps. Just like that. Let me slide this bead down now. So it's right up against the wraps, or as close as I can get it. And I'm going to wrap around this side of the bead. Let me adjust this bead. I know my fingers are in the way. I apologize for that. But hopefully you can see it. That's what it looks like. And now I'm going to slide this bead up, the next one up, and do the same thing. I'm going to wrap on the other side of it. And you do want to adjust your beads as you go along. Once again, I'm sliding this one up, taking the wire and wrapping around the other side of it. So that's what we have so far. Now I'm going to slide the crystals. Same thing. And you want to keep your wraps nice and tight. Don't pull too hard though, because the wire is 26 gauge and it could snap. So let me slide the next one up and wrap around. Make some adjustments if I need to. Let me keep going. Okay, I have one bead left. And as you can see, it's looking really nice. I really like this technique. It's very easy. So now I'm going to slide this last bead up, take my wire and wrap around. And I'm going to go down all of these wraps. Now, one thing you do want to do is to make sure that this section of wraps is the same length as this section. And I think I need to remove some wraps, so let me do that. Let me just grab the end. Use my pliers. That should be good enough. Let me cut off the excess. Smoosh it down a little bit. And I'm going to keep wrapping right on top of that little end that I just snipped. That looks pretty good. I'm going to cut off the excess. Let me move these wraps in closer and smoosh down this one. Let me use these pliers. You definitely don't want anything sharp sticking out. So I'm kind of burnishing it a little bit. Let me see. That feels pretty good. And that's all there is to it, guys. I got all kinds of debris on my mat. But anyway, as you saw, it was pretty easy. And it's very sturdy too. These beads aren't going to move. Let me slide it on. Look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? I really like it. I hope you like it as well. I'm pretty happy with it. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. A very quick and easy project. Perfect for a last minute gift. And I think this is better than gluing the beads on. Some people like to glue beads on that surface, but I'm not very confident that the beads will stay on very well. Let me show you the underside. As you can see, it looks pretty neat as well. So anyway, guys, I hope I've helped you with some ideas on how to embellish this kind of bangle. Don't forget to come back and check my channel for another tutorial using some of the other beads from the box. Please stick around a few more seconds because I am going to put it on so you can see what it looks like from a distance. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Have a great day and I'll see you next time. Bye.